Sony just announced their brand new ZV-E10 camera. Is it the best camera for live streamers? We're going to talk about the details, dig into it a little bit, and then I'll have a full review as soon as the camera arrives in my hands. And we'll do a comparison of the 6100 versus the Sony ZV-E10 versus the Sony ZV-1. What are the differences? We'll talk about all of that now, but let me just give you a quick look, because I know the biggest question in your brain is, I didn't really even have time to do my hair today, or put the background together, because the Sony announcement just came out, so I wanted to get to you as quickly as possible. Now, here's the thing. Excuse me. The ZV, right, you're right, it's the ZV, sorry about that. Okay, so the Sony ZV-E10, not on Amazon just yet, and you cannot pre-order it until tomorrow. However, there must have been a glitch on the B&H website, because I ordered it already, but now you won't be able to do that until 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow on the 28th. But look at this, the price, $698 for the body only. So if you already have a lens, well, we've talked about lenses before in the Sony versus Canon M50 video. You're looking at, you know, 100 or up for a different lens. Now, this camera is really meant for all the things, vlogging, YouTube videos, live streaming. The Sony ZV-E10 is going to be a fantastic option for streamers, in my opinion. Before I get my one, I mean, I was reading Daniel's comment. I want one, I don't know why, but I do. Well, you can live vicariously through me, Daniel. But that is, it's going to actually be really good if you want to do a whole bunch of things for a couple of the features that I'm going to mention here shortly. But in terms of live streamers, is it a good camera for in studio? Well, yeah. I mean, it's got fast autofocus, interchangeable lenses, which is different than the ZV-1. The ZV-1 was about the same price, $700. I think that's actually $750, isn't it? But also this one, the ZV-E10, has interchangeable lenses. Thank goodness, thank goodness, thank goodness. And it has that super fast autofocus that Sony is so good at. And it also really, it kind of has a mode. I didn't get a chance to dig into this in depth. If you've seen this, fill me in on some details. But it will focus, or it will work to get that blurred background even without the proper lens, it sounded like to me. So we're going to test that and put that into action. Also, it does plug in via USB for streamers easily. You don't actually need the Sony software to download. Now, in the past, I have had to actually download the software from Sony in order for it to be read as the USB camera inside of Ecamm. However, now, guess what? They made it super, super simple. You can just plug it in. So if you don't go for a capture card, $698 is, and plus a lens, is all you're going to be paying, right? Outside of $150 for a capture card. Now, again, like we've talked about before, the capture card will increase the quality that you're able to get from the camera. But again, I will actually also test that for you, show that to you in action. Clear view focus, is that what that's, oops, hold on, sorry. Clear view focus. There you go. Yes, interchangeable lenses is such a win. Native driver support, whoop, whoop. Yes, exactly. No, Vincent, Sony is fantastic when it comes to streaming cameras. They do not have those limits. Even the Canon M50, if you've seen the video on this channel comparing the Sony a6100 versus the M50. Now they've even gone for, not having that. I did not see whether it has NDI. Can somebody verify for me, maybe? Also, I wanted to point out on Amazon.com. I hate when I Google Amazon. You know what I mean? let me just go here. Amazon. And let's see. So if you go to the Sony a6100, right? Not the 661, then you're looking at $748 for the body. So we're about $50 difference for the new ZV-E10 versus the Sony a6100. So $50 is $50, right? There's really nothing, there's nothing about this. I'm not calling it until I get this in my hands, but honestly, there's really nothing about the Sony a6100, I don't think, that outweighs the Sony for studio streaming, right? Okay, that's what we're talking about, versus the Sony ZV-E10. I have a feeling that I will be calling this my favorite one because it has interchangeable lenses. I couldn't say that with the ZV-1. But the Sony ZV-E10 has interchangeable lenses. It has the fast autofocus. It has the USB connection, no driver or native driver support, as Coulter pointed out, right? And all of those things. So it's, yeah, there you go. Like, there's really nothing. I think that the Sony a6100 has that puts it above this camera. Now, if you are also if you're shooting or using this video to shoot content out and about, or recording straight to the camera, things like that, it has a couple of cool features for you if you're going to be using it in studio and out, or just out. That is one, the window, the preview monitor. It actually highlights red. It doesn't just have the recording button on it in the tiny little corner up at the top, right? There's an outline. So like the whole frame highlights red, so that you really know if you're recording or not. That's pretty cool. Also, the S&Q mode. So on the top of the camera, let me see if there's a picture of this. Here we go. Let's see. They don't have a top picture. On the top of the camera, there is a button that says video, photo, and S&Q. S&Q is super slow-mo, like it's super easy slow-mo. So if you're trying to get some really cool B-roll shots or walking shots and you want to slow that down, you don't have to understand how to record slow-mo. You just get it by hitting that button and it goes into slow motion effect. So that's pretty darn cool as well. So hello, Christopher. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm trying to gather questions and tackle questions, but bear with me. I just kind of like threw everything together today. So hang on. You asked, what's the best laptop for editing and streaming? So Christopher, we actually have a video for you where, if you're looking, I don't know if you're Mac or PC, but we have two videos, where we highlight all of the specs that you need for those. So, I don't know if you're looking at Mac, if you are M1, and if you're looking at a PC, you can go for any gaming computer really with the specs that we highlight in that video, and you'll be good to go. But Alienware is always a good option. I'm glad I waited. Hurricane Dave says, didn't buy your camera yet. So if you are, I lost my train of thought. If you haven't bought your camera yet for your studio for streaming, I would buy this one at the moment, right? I can't claim that just yet for full force until I get it in my hands and we test it and we put it through its paces, et cetera, et cetera. But hopefully that will happen very soon. When is the release date? the release, so pre-order, can somebody fill me in on this? I meant to pull that up. I couldn't find it on any of the sites that I was on. So maybe somebody can drop that in. But you can pre-order starting tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. So pre-order starts 10 a.m. Eastern on the 28th. I've already gotten it ordered, so I will have it. I don't know. There was a glitch. That's a good question, Sammy. Will this be my new Abby cam or main cam? I have a feeling I'll be moving to this one. Again, I can't save 100% until I get it in my hands, but we'll see. Like, I mean, the Sony a6100 for doing what it does, it's perfect, right? But we'll see if this one, has any specific features for the studio environment. I don't think the autofocus will be any faster than the Sony a6100. Yes, so Richard, we have a video that we've been working on about the Elgato face cam. We did a first look at it, but also we have a video comparison. Excuse me. Man. CK asked how I had so much energy at 7:30 a.m. And my body hasn't quite woken up, I think, just yet. So, yeah, that video will hopefully be coming out soon. We've hit some stoppers as we're working on it, but we'll get that. Use the Elgato face cam for Cali cam, maybe. I have the Sony ZV-1 that's been planned to go into the studio. I have the now Sony ZV-E10, the Sony a6100. I have the RX10 over there. I have Sony a5100. I've got a lot of cameras, and we actually will be doing a behind the scenes build out of adding all of these cameras into production as well. So yeah, voice is trying to catch up. I know. Why, thank you, Mel. I thought about going for like a Mel haircut, but I don't think I can pull it off. So thank you from a shortcut to learning perspective. Aw. You're so sweet, Richard. Thank you. Website you linked has this. Has what? Did we see? I know it won't be available for purchase, but that's actually pre-order. When they're actually shipping, I haven't been able to find. But yeah. Oh no, I just bought the ZV-1. No! So this is the same price. Now, keep in mind, Natasha, with this one, it is this, sorry, hold on. Let me just verify. I think the Sony ZV-1 is $750, if I remember correctly. So $738. Okay, so body only. So it's $38 less, or well, it's $40 less. If I don't do live math, don't make me do live math. $40 less than the Sony ZV-1. However, you are going to need a lens for it. You can get the kit lens. You can get any of the lenses that we already recommend, like the Sony 16mm f1.4 lens that I'm using. Now, we have a whole video all about lenses and lens choice if you want to understand the pros and cons of different ones. See it in action. So 16 millimeters, quite wide. Do you want something that's not as wide? And you can go watch that video on this channel as well. Thank you so much for the super sticker, Tech Med. Really appreciate you this morning. Cup of coffee. I could use a cup of coffee right now. So what do y'all think about the Sony ZV-E10? I'm super pumped about it. I think that it's going to be my new favorite camera to actually recommend. That scared me. Woo, that scared me. If you're just turned in, so this is the USB streaming, just as good as a capture card like Elgato? No. You will see some degradation of quality compared to a high quality capture card like the Elgato 4K or the Camlink 4K. So that is a reality. However, if it's just to get you going and you want to upgrade to a capture card later, this camera does USB streaming or turns it into a webcam so that your streaming software can see that without any software needed to download from Sony, like the Sony the a6100 does. So that is something to be aware of. That's a huge pro, in my opinion. While you're not going to get the highest quality possible from that camera using USB to connect, it's still better than nothing, right? It's still better than a webcam. It's still better, right? And so you can always add to that once your budget allows. Okay, I know. We have a Stream Accelerator call in like 8 minutes. I am going to wrap it up before that so that y'all can participate in that call. And I don't, but the team is ready to handle that. I think it'll be my favorite as well. How's it in low light? From what I've seen, Paul, now keep in mind, I am waiting on it to arrive in my hands so that we can do an actual comparison, use it and show it to you. But Paul, I believe from what I've seen, it looks pretty darn good in low light. So that's one of the benefits. So I think it'll look really good, to be honest. So, geeky accessory question. What lens converter works for Canon lens? So I don't think we have a video on that. I've not tested a lens converter, but I believe Daniel has actually a recommendation for that. They're not, I wouldn't recommend doing a lens converter from Canon to Sony, but they do exist, right? So, but I wouldn't recommend doing it. So, I'm new to live streaming. What camera should I buy for a start? Well, that's what I'm talking about today, Bob, is the Sony ZV-E10 is just announced, and this price point, the feature set, is a fantastic option. It's cheaper than the Sony ZV-1 and the Sony a6100. That's the camera I'm using right now, the Sony a6100. So if you're new to live streaming and you're looking for, the best camera, I think I'm going here. But I have to get it in my hands. I have to test it before I can say that 100%. All right. Sony is crushing it with all the new cameras these last 2 years. They're doing a fantastic job. I've never liked the Sony ZV-1 for primary usage, right? If you're out and about, if you're a vlogger, great camera. But the fact that it doesn't have interchangeable lenses really limits your capabilities, and I don't think that it's the best one for in studio. But but they are killing it. I mean, that was a great vlogger lens, right? But this one, I think is going to be great for all of us doing whatever it is you're doing. So I'm curious, how many of you actually use your in-studio camera and take that out and record other videos? I don't believe many of you do, but I am curious, do you? The color? Oh, the color. I was like, it's black. Okay, I really need that coffee. Where's that super chat? I need that coffee. Stat. The color. Sony color. I love Sony color. It definitely. Get the lens with it or use other lenses. Nika, don't you already have lenses, a Sony lens? If you already have a Sony lens, just buy the body. You don't need the kit lens. The kit lens is the lens that it will come with, right? So if you have, if you're looking at this and it says body only versus with the 16 to 50 millimeter lens, that's the kit lens. And it's always going to be a good lens, but it's not going to be the best lens, and it doesn't give you full control over your output, right? So we talk about the kit lens versus a prime lens in the lens video that we have released on this channel just recently. Yes, I'm looking forward to the demo as well. I cannot wait to get in my hands. We will be pumping that out as quickly as humanly possible for you guys. The color isn't in black. I know, coffee, right? Let's see. Spoiler comment, from what I hear, the color profile, pretty cool. Wait. the color profile is pretty cool that some have shot straight from the box rather than fiddling with color correction. Fantastic. It looks great, right? From what I can see. Thank you dude, thank you so much for the super chat. Get all the fancy coffee. Super Trooper early. Streamers need rocket fuel. I definitely need some rocket fuel right now. Thank you so much for the super chat, Renee. Let's see. Should I keep my A6100 as a B cam and the Sony ZV-E10 as my main? I can't answer that just yet. I will answer that question as soon as I get it in my hands and we actually showcase that. By the way, real quick, guys, if you haven't signed up for LIDA, this is our live every day in August challenge. It's a completely free challenge. We will walk you through how to be more confident on camera in 31 days. And this is my favorite thing that I do in my business because it really produces some great results. So I look forward to meeting you in there. That kicks off on August 1st. And in fact, July 31st, this Saturday, you will get your first mission. So yes, I hope to see you there. Okay. That laugh reads like Lyria's not getting coffee. What did she do? What did Callie do? Daniel says, I also love that this camera does S-Log3 so you can grade and post. Yeah, if you do that sort of thing. Grading and post is not something I do, but it is something that we probably do. I actually don't know if we do or not, if either of our editors do that. But yeah, the ability to is fantastic. Super Trooper LSB. 2 minutes. Okay. I gotta go. We have a Streamer Accelerator call for our membership. And so I'm gonna let you guys go and focus on that. But here is the deal. I will get this. I will tell you all of the details. I will show it to you. I will compare it. We'll answer all of your questions. If you have if you have more questions, go ahead and drop them in the comments so that we can answer those in that upcoming video. So thank you all so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for the great questions and the great comments. And I will see you in the next video. Happy Tuesday morning with a new Sony ZV-E10 camera. Yes! Bye!